It is a given fact that at some point in our lives, each of us has to take some form of medication or vitamin, and obviously, most often it is in the form of a pill. But now, thanks to the latest advancements in medical science, the fastest growing segment of drug delivery systems available today is in the form of the transdermal patch. I'm sure you've heard about it. Now you're going to learn about it. We are here in the facilities of the Aveva Drug Delivery Systems Corporation in Miramar, Florida. Now, Aveva is a division of the giant Nido Denko Company of Japan, which is a $6 billion corporation with over 23,000 employees worldwide. They work very closely with the scientists and the technicians here at Aveva in developing the most advanced transdermal patches being manufactured anywhere in the world today.
Aveva Drug Delivery Systems is a developer and manufacturer of transdermal drug delivery products. We essentially take the active pharmaceutical product developed by our pharmaceutical partners, we put it in an alternate delivery form, which is in a patch which is adhered to the skin.
We develop and provide commercial supplies of pharmaceutical patches for the world's largest pharmaceutical companies, specialty pharma, small companies that are boutique and focused in certain therapeutic areas, as well as we do our own development internally. And we go to these other major pharmaceutical companies and offer them our products and services for them to sell, market, and distribute into the pharmaceutical and hospital medical fields.
This facility is as sophisticated as any manufacturing company in the world. We have 43 individual air handlers in this building so that we're feeding the manufacturing rooms and exhausting the manufacturing rooms separate from one another, just to be able to ensure that we are protecting products in one room from products in another room.
If you bring your child in to see the pediatrician, you cringe just at the effect of them having to go ahead and get shots for boosters. The ability to have a vaccine in a patch would be wonderful. You worry about taste when you walk down the aisles and get a call for cold medicine. Is your child going to go ahead and experience bad taste? You have to chase them around the house. To be able to put a patch on is very soothing for not only the patient but also for the parent in this particular case.
It's delivered through the skin and directly into the bloodstream. It bypasses the first pass metabolism, so more of the amount of drug that's intended to get into the system actually reaches the system. And with, say, a tablet form of the drug, you need to put more drug into the product to compensate for first pass metabolism, and that creates significant side effects. Less drug is better. We'll work together with the pharmaceutical company. We supply the expertise, the understanding of technically which drugs are appropriate for transdermal delivery. We'll create, as a first phase, we'll create a computer model which will do that first level of feasibility. Second phase, we'll actually demonstrate through cadaver skin and other methods that the drug is suitable for transdermal delivery. And then at that point, together with our pharmaceutical partners, we'll make a determination whether we go forward with the project. We are a wholly owned subsidiary, and we have autonomy from a managerial standpoint. We're essentially an embedded operation of the Nido Denko company. We're essentially Nido Denko's face to the U.S. and to the European marketplaces. And Nido Denko, being a $6.5 billion corporation with 23,000 employees around the world, has a strong technology base, strong financial resources on which we can rely. The best way to demonstrate this is to do a comparison between standard transdermal adhesive and the gel matrix adhesive. So first I'll apply the standard transdermal adhesive to my arm, and then the gel matrix. The beauty of the gel matrix is that it gives long-term adherence, but is very gentle in the skin on removal. So now if we look at the at the competitive transdermal patch, the standard adhesive, you'll see the type of issue that I have as this is removed from my skin. It absolutely hurts. Older people with more friable skin, it's more of an issue.
Right.
Okay, with the Nido gel matrix technology, it comes off very smoothly.
Wow.
And indeed, what I can do, because I have not picked up any bits and pieces of stratum corneum, I can reapply it, and the reapplication gives me the same level of adhesion as I had before.
And you can do that multiple times.
I can do that multiple times.
In various parts of the body.
Absolutely. And another way just to demonstrate the gentleness of the adhesive is to a newspaper. Any other thing, even Scotch tape, if you applied that to a newspaper, you'd be tearing the newspaper apart. But with this, I may be picking up the newsprint, but I'm not in any way tearing the newspaper.
Well, the process really starts in our blending rooms. We have a variety of sizes of kettles that we mix things in. What we're doing is we're adding a variety of excipients, we're adding adhesives, and we're adding a drug, and mixing it all together for a specific period of time until it's mixed the way that it needs to be able to be coated onto another material. We pump it directly from our coating rooms into a room such as this, and it feeds automatically into our coating equipment. The machine actually lays down a very, very thin coat of the blend that we made over in our blending rooms. And what it does is it goes through a number of different zones with different amounts of heat and different amount of pressures on the air that's coming into it. And it really drives the solvents off of the adhesives, and at the end of the process leaves you with a very, very thin coat of dry adhesive that has a drug embedded in it that eventually becomes a patch. We take the material from this room, we finish the material. In other words, we make finished rolls that are capable of being now punched into individual units. And that material then moves into a packaging room where we have packaging machines that automatically punch the patches out into the right size and puts them into a protective barrier until it's time for them to be used.
You know, something else that's very key, I understand, in this whole manufacturing facility is the airflow. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. What really happens with this piece of equipment is hot air is made outside of the building. It's brought in through the second floor of the building, and it's brought down into the machine through these small ducts directly onto the laminated surface. This is a, for all intents and purposes, a plastic surface that we've coated the material on. And the hot air that comes through the machine at different temperatures in different zones throughout the machine is what's really drying that adhesive before it gets down to this end of the machine, where it's really essentially a dry adhesive.
We are one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies in transdermals that exist today. We have the size and magnitude and critical mass to not only begin with a project from feasibility and concept work all the way through to commercial supply. Millions of patches a year we can provide, all from this facility here, and we also have our colleagues in Japan who help us support our global distribution of these products. One of the biggest differentiators that we find, Doug, is that we are able to meet timelines without exception when it comes to working with our partners. We have a flexible mentality, but we have a big corporate infrastructure that we work within. As Americans, everybody take a pill for a problem and be happy with it. What we're finding is that pills have problems. You run into liver function problems, you have to go through frequent testing, the stomach is a problem, and also compliance is a problem. Even though it's as easy as taking a pill once a day, do you know that over 50% of the population who begin taking cholesterol medicines or hypertensive medicines for chronic diseases, they stop taking it after 6 months? 5 out of 10. A patch gives you better compliance. It's a physical expression that, yes, I remember to take the product today. And unlike other products where you dose it twice a day, 3, 4 times a day. With a transdermal patch, because it provides consistent delivery, you can apply one patch for one day, and in the case of hormones and other products, you can have one patch on for up to a whole week. That's a big difference when it comes to compliance, which is very important for the patients and physicians prescribing it.
From helping smokers quit the habit to relief for sufferers of asthma, hypertension, pain, and others, the transdermal patch has definitely become the preferred drug delivery method. And thanks to the scientists and technicians here at Aveva who are constantly striving for new uses for the patch, its future would seem to be unlimited. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Well, that does it for this edition of Close Up on America's Business. I'm Janice Marie. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.